When nations want to project power, they usually build upward. In Central Asia, the architectural footprint is defined by massive monuments and sprawling public squares designed to make you feel small. To find the actual pulse of the region's craftsmanship, navigate away from the grand plazas and walk down the quiet, sun-dappled residential alleyways of Tashkent. Here, the local history is deeply personal. Take the Polovtsev House. Built in 1904 for a Russian diplomat, its unassuming, low-profile brick exterior blends right into the neighborhood. This 120-year-old structure reverses the traditional museum dynamic. The building itself functions as the primary masterpiece, concentrating the country's most delicate cultural work into its very walls. The moment you cross the threshold, your senses are flooded. You leave behind a standard building and enter an immersive space where every inch of surface area acts as a canvas. Over the decades, this private diplomatic residence organically evolved. Today, it operates as a state archive, protecting thousands of regional artifacts. But before you examine a single object in a glass case, the space demands that you follow one strict rule: look up. The environment forcefully dictates how you experience it. You cannot separate the collection from the walls that hold it. The architecture and the artifacts function as a single entity. The guiding philosophy behind every room in this house is a concept known as horror vacui, a Latin term used in art history that translates directly to the fear of empty space. Central Asian artisans took this philosophy to its absolute limit. They systematically eliminated blank walls by densely packing every available millimeter with layered geometric shapes and floral motifs. This details the primary medium, carved plasterwork. Artisans stacked dense three-dimensional textures to ensure no flat surface remained. Up above, natural pigments fill a complex wooden grid, creating a high-density color system that commands attention from the columns to the ceiling. Walking from room to room feels like crossing through different dialects of a shared decorative language. The only rule that unites them all is the strict refusal to leave anything blank. The thousands of crafted items housed here strictly obey the exact same relentless aesthetic as the building itself. We see this in the region's historic ceramics. The Rishton school relies heavily on high-contrast, cool blue and green glazes to draw the eye. This exhibit highlights the contrasting Gijduven style. These bowls feature thick, warm, yellow-brown tones and carry a heavier, tactile weight that reveals the hands of the potter. This visual highlights objects of daily use, like a traditional folding bookstand and a metal plate. Notice how the same intricate surface carvings found on the walls are applied directly to the tools. Whether working in clay, carving intricate wood, or shaping metal, the artisans approached their work with a unified mindset. Practical utility and extreme decoration were never treated as separate concepts. To truly understand the scale of this work, we have to look closely at the ancient textile art of the Suzani. A Suzani is a type of embroidered tribal textile made in Central Asia, characterized by vibrant colors and elaborate needlework. This textile demonstrates the fear of empty space mapped out in thread. These dense, brightly colored floral embroideries were passed down as deeply significant family dowries. Getting close to the individual silk threads, you notice the slight, inevitable imperfections in the hand stitching. These microscopic flaws prevent the patterns from reading as cold, machine-made fractals. The slight asymmetry of a human hand is exactly what gives these textiles their temperature. Stepping back out into the sunlight of the modern street, the contrast becomes clear. We are surrounded today by flawless scale and perfect mathematical precision. But inside the Polovtsev house, the aesthetic relies entirely on painstaking, asymmetrical patience. Uzbek history lives within these meticulous, hand-worked details, as much as in grand public monuments. The architecture of this museum offers a very specific set of instructions. To appreciate what was built here, you have to abandon the grand scale, slow down, and finally look closely at the details.